Hello everyone. My presentation will be about storytelling and narrative engagement. Design is storytelling. I'll be discussing how engaging the public in the design process is both an opportunity and a challenge in different mediums. I'll be using examples derived from the book Design and Storytelling by Ellen Lupton. It is a great book. I recommend getting a copy for yourself. Our agenda will be what is storytelling, followed by two examples, video games, YouTubers, and/or TED Talks, followed by why is storytelling important, and then the techniques that are used and the challenges facing storytelling today. So, what is storytelling? Storytelling is the art of using words, images, or other mediums to convey a narrative or a sequence of events. There is human connection, where it allows individuals to share experiences, emotions, and ideas. Storytelling also has structure, where it structures a format with a beginning, middle, and end, creating a sense of progression and resolution. There's also purpose, where it serves as a entertainment, education, persuasion, and cultural preservation. Storytelling also have engagement, where it captivates audience by invoking emotions, sparking imaginations, and creating a sense of empathy with characters or situations. Here I made a collage of the most common forms of storytelling. The Red Riding Hood falls under oral tradition, where narrators convey stories verbally, passing them down through generations, while The Queen's Gambit on Netflix falls under film and television. Films and TV series are all about acting and the sound design to tell the stories. Spider-Man 2, the game, falls under digital media. The digital age has given rise to interactive and immersive storytelling experiences. Video games like VR, AR offer new ways to engage audience. As you can see on your right corner is the Hamilton Broadway play. This is a great example of performing arts. Live performances such as theater and dance convey stories through physicality and expressions of actors or dancers through performing arts. Another form of storytelling is through music. Taylor Swift, her album, falls under music and story writing. This is where music can tell stories through lyrics, melody, and rhythm. Songs often convey emotions and narratives. And lastly, animation. The Avatar: The Last Airbender falls under this. Animated storytelling uses visual elements to convey narratives, often with a unique style that transcends the constraints of live action. Now, these are all forms of storytelling. Understanding the diversity of storytelling, these mediums allow storytellers to choose the most suitable platform for their message, catering to different audiences, preferences, and engagement styles. Of course, there are other honorable mentions as well, like photography and even social media. Video games is our first example of storytelling. Storytelling and narrative are integral components of video games, contributing significantly to the player's overall experience. Game designers leverage various storytelling techniques to immerse players in rich interactive narratives. The world building in video games excel in creating immersive worlds through detailed storytelling. The lore, the history, and the background information are often woven into a narrative, enhancing the player's understanding of the game universe. The character development is effective and crucial in video game storytelling. Players connect with characters whose stories involve presenting challenges, growth, and relationships through the game. Cutscenes and cinematics are often used to deliver key plot points, character interactions, or dramatic moments. These sequences provide a break from gameplay while advancing the narrative. And lastly, quests and objectives. Narratives often unfold through quests or missions, guiding players through the game world. Each quest contributes to an overarching story, creating a sense of progression and purpose. In summary, the video games is a dynamic and involving art form that combines traditional narrative techniques with interactive and immersive elements. The interplay between the player and carefully crafted narratives makes video games a unique and powerful medium for storytelling. Our second example is YouTubers and TED Talks. YouTubers uses storytime videos often recounting personal or interesting stories. These narratives often include elements of humor, drama, or suspense to captivate the audience. YouTubers also uses collaborative storytelling. These collaborative videos involve multiple YouTubers working together on a shared narrative. This can include challenges, collaborations, or joint storytelling efforts, creating a more dynamic and diverse storytelling experience. Storytelling is also used as humor. Comedy YouTubers use storytelling to create humorous content. They may narrate, perform skits, or share funny experiences to entertain the audience. In the world of YouTube, effective storytelling is a powerful tool for building a loyal audience, conveying messages, and creating a content that resonates with viewers on a personal level. The storytelling techniques employed by YouTubers vary widely, reflecting the diverse content and genres found on the platform. TED Talks often use humor and are renowned for their ability to deliver impactful messages and share compelling stories. TED Talks also use personal narratives where they begin their personal stories from the speaker's life. This helps establish a connection with the audience, making the content more relatable and engaging. Many TED Talks also have inspiring stories of change that revolves around stories of personal society transformation, their societal transformation. Speakers share experiences of change, growth, and resilience, inspiring the audience to consider their own potential and positive transformation. TED Talk, lastly, have call to action as well. Effective TED Talks conclude with a clear call to action, whether it's encouraging the audience to adopt a new perspective, taking specific steps, or contribute to a cause. The call to action provides a sense of purpose and direction. So, why is storytelling important? Well, for one thing, human connection. Stories invoke emotions and create a sense of shared experience, fostering a connection between the storyteller and the audience. Through storytelling, individuals can relate to one another on a personal and emotional level. Another factor is memorability. People are more likely to remember information presented in the form of a story. Stories provide context, making facts and details more memorable and easier to recall. This is why storytelling is often used in education and training. Another factor is engagement and attention. Stories involve and hold attention, whether in conversations, presentations, or entertainment. Stories have the power to engage audiences, making information more compelling and interesting. Another factor is persuasion and influence. Stories are persuasive. They can influence opinions and behaviors by appealing to emotions and providing a compelling narrative. Another example is where storytelling can simplify complex ideas, made more accessible through metaphors, analogies, and narrative that helps individual grasp intricate information by placing it in a more relatable context. And finally, empathy and understanding, where stories allow people to step into the shoes of others, fostering empathy and understanding. We will be discussing two techniques used for effective storytelling. Hero's journey is one of them, and is focused more on the hero aspect, their personal growth and transformation. This can be you or a main character. As for narrative arc, however, it is a broader framework to various types of stories. Both concepts outline the stages and development of the character as they undergo challenges and transformation. The hero's journey is a technique used in storytelling. It often involves a hero that must undergo a change or challenge. This can be found in Disney movies and other medias that cast their main protagonist as the hero of their journey. The hero often undergo several bullet points, first one being call to action or call to adventure. This call to adventure, they will undergo a rigorous journey far away from home, often outside the comfort zone. They will often refuse this call, even reject it. They will then consult a mentor, and that mentor will provide them guidance, wisdom, knowledge, and skills to help them on their adventure. During the adventure, they will cross this threshold where they will meet new challenges, face new enemies, and possibly meet new allies along the way. There will be fights, death, and possibly rebirth on their journey. After all that, their reward would be new powers, new knowledge they have attained during that journey. Then they'll finally realize that they are indeed in a new normal. This can be examples from Odyssey, possibly Star Wars as well. And a good example of this is in The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy searches for a better existence in the Emerald City. She finds a magic pair of shoes, attracts a band of helpers, battles villains, and ultimately finds what she is looking for back in the place she started. She goes home to Kansas with new knowledge. This is a great example of hero's journey in storytelling. Both of these images you see before you is from Design and Storytelling by Ellen Lupton. Both of these examples are hero's journey in real life. As you enter IKEA, you are from an ordinary world, forcing you to traverse through all the departments, and finally you would enter the warehouse to exit onto the streets with newfound knowledge and treasure in hand that you have obtained. This goes the same for the supermarket map on the left. These are all analogies. So what about hero's journey in design? Once you made your design, website, brand, you will be presenting to them, selling to them, and get them engaged. You will be presenting yourself as a hero of your story, similar to a TED Talk when talking to stakeholders and investors, and have them understand your journey. Often in TED Talks, even in Shark Tank, they are the hero of their story, trying to get stakeholders and investors and get them immersed into their story. And once they have, they will want to commit and invest into their product to be willing to answer their call to action. The narrative arc is our second technique that we'll be discussing. It is a technique that people use to write great stories for movies and books. Every story tends to max out at the climax and then go down. Designers use this technique and lay on top of the basic story framework. This comprises of a beginning, short context, a middle, all the action, and an ending that wraps up the story. Beginning of the story would have very little action as you start adding pieces of detail one after the other until you reach a climax, the top of the climax of the story where your hero is either defeated or he or she dies, and everything seems to be falling apart. And after that, you sort of modulate the intensity to help the user come down to a peaceful story. There are stories at the end that end up at the climax. Those are cliffhangers. It is up to you, the goal, to make people come with you to the end and understand how the story ends, whether it is a happy ending or not. You need to modulate that intensity in a way that makes the user calm down to a quiet state at the end. So, how is this important and relevant as a designer? You are crafting stories every time you present your design to someone you are telling a story. The exposition at the beginning of your arc, not everyone is going to know what you're talking about. They may have come from another company. They may have seen this once, twice. You start at the beginning of your story and want to remind everyone how does this fit into the broader company strategy or the problem you are trying to solve. Just like in TED Talk, where they do this all the time, where they present the problem and the solution. They often provide a story for you so you can be compelled in understanding and connect with them. Your rising action will be to narrate how you explored various solutions, design many options, and explore many different designs, and finally you have come to one conclusion, the one design. And during your crisis is where you test that one design. You picked your desired design that you picked, and then you put that into early access and reveal it to a small group of the public, and then you find that the public slash users didn't really like it. So you went back to the drawing boards and you revised it and changed it again and again until you come up with a design that is where you want your final product to look or represent. The climax would be asking about feedback. You would ask about feedback, what the things that you can still change, what your audience understand about your recap. From there, great conversation starts, and the people you are presenting to, stakeholders, colleagues, managers, investors, they know exactly what you're looking for and the options that you have already tried. The main takeaway from this technique is instead of showing your design right off the bat, you instead tell them a unique story of how you've gotten to these designs so they, your audience, can connect more to your design and feel more inclusive and perhaps provide a whole lot better and niche feedback you are looking for. Storytelling is facing lots of challenges today, one of which short attention spans. With the rise of digital media and constant information flow, audiences often have shorter attention spans. Grabbing and maintaining attention in a world of constant distractions is a significant challenge for storytellers. Information overload is another. The abundance of information available online can lead to an information overload. Cutting through the noise and delivering a narrative that stands out amidst a sea of content is a challenge. Another is adapting to new media formats. The emergence of new media formats, such as short-form videos on platforms like TikTok or interactive storytelling in virtual reality, requires storytellers to adapt their craft to suit their evolving customer preferences. And finally, evolving narrative forms. New narrative forms such as interactive storytelling, augmented reality, and immersive experiences require storytellers to learn and adapt to different storytelling techniques, often blending traditional and emerging forms. Navigating these challenges requires storytellers to stay adaptable, informed, while embracing innovation and staying observant to ever-evolving needs and expectations to their audiences. This is my works cited. I highly recommend to check out the link below. Design is Storytelling by Ellen Lupton. That concludes the end of my presentation. Thank you.